Want to see our logo's grippers? Gets to 1,000 subs. You have 1 week.
Last night I was walking down the hallway,
Mhm.
and my dog decided to get up as soon as I started walking down the hallway. So I go left to give him room on the right. What does do? He goes left.
He went left.
He went left, and I thought to myself,
He's
Did you fall?
if you were a fucking person, I'd so check you into the wall.
Did you fall?
No, I just let it. I just slid.
well,
Okay.
Sun Tzu said that when orthodox make your enemy believe that you are unorthodox.
Welcome
So-
to the Gred podcast. I am Reid.
I'm Sahara.
I'm Maury. I'm drinking.
Ah, good. Good. That's what we should do during filming.
I have water and a little sparkling beverage because I am a beverage goblin. And I also had a coffee, but I finished it.
I have
So
half a glass of water, and I'm gonna not drink it.
What the fuck is a beverage goblin?
That's Sahara.
yeah, that's me. So
What?
a beverage goblin is someone who has 3 drinks, and the 3 drinks consist of either coffee or Red Bull for energy, water for hydration, and then a third little fun drink just because.
Okay, that's like.
Uh-huh.
This sounds like alcoholism.
Alcoholism, but healthy and without alcohol,
Mm,
because the little fun drink is just sparkling water.
I wouldn't say.
but-
I wouldn't say healthy. Having 3 drinks on deck, I wouldn't say that's healthy. I'd say.
I'm simultaneously drinking them, so I'm not absorbing all
Oh.
800 milligrams
Oh.
of my latte.
Good. It's like when you suicide the soda dispenser.
Ooh, my sister does that.
Well, your sister's a fucking psychopath.
She really is. So her thing is, when we go to like restaurants together, she'll go get a drink, and we're usually sharing because like, why not? And I'll take a sip, and it's like brown, so I'm like, oh, we both like Diet Coke. It's probably Diet Coke. And I taste it, and it tastes just like a little off, and I'm like, did you put Fanta in this Diet Coke? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pepper and root beer and a little bit of Sprite for flavor. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
What is wrong with your sister?
Oh, like that thing people do when they go to 7-Eleven, where they get a little bit of every single one
Yeah, no.
when they get a drink.
Yeah, that's called a suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a name for it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is.
I mean, like, mixing sodas is fine, but making an ultimate concoction of atrocity is just special.
That's the type of shit you bet someone to drink.
I mean,
Literally
and that's
battery acid.
And that's why you drink it in your pastime, so you can just collect on those bets easily.
Oh yeah, it's like that story of the guy that like injected himself with a little bit of poison until he got used to it, so he's immune to poison.
We
Mhm.
call that a Sigma grind set.
Yeah, the Sigma grind set. That's a gamma male.
A gamma male? Oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
There's a
Triggered.
lot more than you know, right? There's a lot more. All right. It's not just alpha and beta and sigma. All right. There's a lot.
circling back.
There is a lot.
Circling back to putting weird shit in drinks. One of my cousins at a family gathering, he like made fun of me, and he had a wine and I had Coke. So I looked this man in the eye and I poured the entire Coke in his wine. And he was like, "Why would you do that to me?" And I was like, "Never make fun of me."
Was it an expensive wine?
Yeah. It was
okay.
It was from my grandmother's collection.
Ooh. Oh.
That's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up.
He deserved it for making fun of you, but one thing that
because the joke wasn't funny enough.
That's fair. One thing we did one year at one of the parties I've been to, we did make drinks with cheap wine and Coke that actually weren't bad.
They do it in France, but French people are fucking weird.
Yeah.
Or like when
They
Tom
give up.
Hanks' trending thing was like Diet Coke and champagne. It's not bad, but it's not good.
This doesn't sound real. It sounds like you're lying to me.
You definitely made the dub right now.
Yeah, I've been lied to.
Yeah.
No, that was a trend on like TikTok for like a good month.
Well,
I think it was Tom Hanks.
There's your fucking flaw. Oh,
It was gross.
You're looking to TikTok to make drinks, the place of eating
No.
Tide Pods. This what you're
No.
looking at?
Are they with us
It
now?
was just shown to me, and then it was like, oh, I'd try that. So I personally enjoy Diet Coke. And fun fact, drinks mixed with Diet Coke because of the aspartame will get you drunk fast.
I marinated a steak in $11 wine the other day.
Nice.
And it would have been good, but the steak was like $6 per steak.
Oh.
So it tasted good, honestly. I cooked it really well. It was great, but
Nice.
yeah, the steak itself was just shit to begin with, so there's not much I could do.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I was at your house, that steak you made, fucking delicious.
Yeah, I'm a great cook.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
it was always great right in your mouth.
Yeah, great.
You speaking from experience, Reid?
Yeah, he's had my meat in his mouth.
Yeah, I've had his meat. I had his meat in my mouth.
Full homo.
Yeah.
I'm glad I know what you do with your weekends.
Hold on. I was wearing socks.
Yeah, he was wearing socks, so no homo.
Yeah, that's right. That's the law.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I put my meat in Reid's mouth.
Right.
You can quote that.
And I gargled.
Maury, 2023. Yeah, he gargled on my meat. Reid gargles on my meat.
And then I had to get the Heimlich because I was choking on it. It was too much.
Reid, you're not experienced?
No.
Damn.
Threw up everywhere. The gag reflex kicked
in.
Yeah, he just started shoving it in there, all willy-nilly and shit. He was ferocious with it.
He even
a wild animal.
He even cut up the steak yet. I just grabbed the entire cooked steak that was meant for the entire party and just...
Yeah.
Tarzan, that shit.
An entire brisket, one would say.
Oh.
Yeah.
An entire brisket.
And then I...
Massive amounts of meat.
That was so much vomit to clean up. We ran out of sawdust. We had to use our socks.
Ew.
He licked it up.
Yeah, we decided to let the local wildlife in to handle the problem. It just made the situation much more worse.
Yeah.
They started
the local wildlife.
Love you.
The local wildlife's name is Jalen.
Oh. Reid? I think you forget that I have a metaphobia.
What is that?
A fear of vomit.
Oh.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Oh, are you one of those people that if you do the gag noise, you'll throw up?
No.
Okay, well, there's this one guy that I work with that if he ever says shit to anyone, that person will start going, and then they'll throw up immediately.
No, I just have a fear of it.
That's funny.
That's for another podcast episode of Irrational Fears. Please don't exploit it. All right, guys, no, stop talking about it. Because I'm clammy and nauseous now. I am not joking. I don't need to break out the promethazine right now.
Man, we're dicks.
Just smell some cinnamon.
Oh yeah.
Hold up.
This will work for me.
So Maury was super hungover at my house, and we went to see the hit movie The Flash.
Oh no.
He went and got to my spice cabinet and pulled out cinnamon, and the entire time just cinnamon. Surprised he
Okay, was it ground cinnamon or did he just whip out a cinnamon stick and just
he
it was ground.
Well he stuck a cinnamon stick right up his nostril. Solved the problem.
Yeah, that did not happen. What happened was I grabbed a little thingy of ground cinnamon and I just opened it up, started smelling it. I didn't shove a stick up my nose like Reid here is saying. Okay, the charlatan.
I was lying. He shoved it right up his ass.
The charlatan.
A little nausea hack that I have is a Vicks Vapo inhaler. That shit's potent and it cures everything.
A little nausea hack that I have is just don't get nauseous.
Reid?
Yeah, just be better.
Issues.
Yeah, just
be better.
Just don't get sick.
Literally can't.
Just grow up.
Come on. Grind set. If you get sick, you're falling off your grind set, and that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You can never stop.
I literally can't help it, guys. Every time I eat, I get nauseous. It's not my fault. It's my stomach issues.
What's the dumbest thing you've done?
Who wants to go first?
I can't. I'm still thinking. I'm still trying to find something.
Here, I go first.
All right, I'll go first. This one's actually really recent and very woman of me. Oh wait, I can't say that on here. This one is very dumb of me.
You are a woman, so you can say that.
Okay, that's fair. So, I was cooking breakfast, and I was making hash brown, and we need a new stove. I will quit ripping ass.
Are you shitting your fucking pants right now?
No, it's my chair.
Jesus Christ.
I went to look at my phone real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Interrupting my womanly story.
I felt it rumble through my ears and into my colon.
Sorry.
I thought I was about to fart because of yours.
I'm worried my farts might trigger a tsunami.
Honestly,
another Hillary.
Hurricane Hillary, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's how you disperse Hurricane Hillary. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got to counteract it. You got to fight back. Fight fire with fire.
You know, Superman.
Yeah, because you were playing the Civilization game.
Just claps his hands together. We're gonna do that.
Claps his cheeks. He claps his cheeks together.
And it's gonna save the day.
Superman claps his ass cheeks together to stop hurricanes.
That's right. Okay, so
you were playing video games in that chair when Hurricane Hillary was happening, and I think that's why it wasn't as bad as in some parts.
You're welcome, California.
All right, back to the story. So I was cooking breakfast, and we have an older stove, and it needs to be replaced, and some of the burners don't work, and some of them get too hot or not hot enough, even on the highest setting. And so I was making some hash browns for hash brown casserole. It's a Midwestern thing. Anyway, so I'm making hash browns, and like the potatoes are cooked, but they're not crisping. So it's like, oh, a genius idea. I'll just throw the whole pan from the stove into the oven. So I put it in the oven, and it's like crisping up, and I pull it out of the oven, and I realize it's not really that crispy. It's just getting a little brown. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just turn the oven back on, or turn the oven off and put it back on the stove. So I'm just cooking, and I need to mix the hash browns. Like, I need to jostle the pan right to mix the hash browns up a little bit. And without thinking, I'm using the spatula to flip them as I grab the handle and just shake the crap out of it. And it took a good 30 seconds, 15 seconds for me to realize that my hand is on a 400-degree metal handle.
Yep.
And I, on my dominant hand too. And so my whole hand had 2nd-degree burns.
Damn.
And my mom wasn't home, and I was trying to close, and then the oven door like fell apart. It did not break. I caught it. And I have a burnt hand, and I'm trying to fix it. I had to yell for my grandma and my aunt to come fix it, and they fix it. And then they realize, oh crap, Sahara burned her hand. And then my mom comes walking in right as they're trying to like put ice on it and doing everything wrong for a burn. And my mom starts freaking out, and then coats my hand in aloe vera, and that shit hurted. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah, no, that sounds like that would fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the hash browns didn't even crisp up.
Bruh. But your hand did.
So it was all for nothing, which is even worse.
You're just eating your hands. They were well done at that point.
Literally, you could see my handprint on the handle.
Oh.
It was bad. It was bad.
It's like Hiroshima in there. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oppenheimer.
Just like my Reid, is it your turn or is Maury ready?
Is Maury ready?
I honestly don't know, man. Mine's pretty minor.
The problem is I'm fucking smart and I don't really do dumb shit.
So you came up with the topic and you haven't brought one?
I'm really fucking stupid and
never mind.
It loops back around.
I retract my previous statement.
See, the problem is I already told it on the podcast. I'd say the thumb story.
The thumb story.
Blood everywhere. That was pretty bad.
If you haven't listened to that episode, please check it out.
Yeah.
There was the time when So my cousin picked me up, and she spun in a circle with me, and then she kind of
Oh.
threw me, and I landed on the ground, and then I walked right into a corner of the wall,
Yeah.
and I split my head open.
Oh, nice.
And she felt bad. So
Well,
I was like a child. I was young. I was like 8. She's
well, yeah, it was her fault, not yours.
yeah.
So
And then
I wouldn't say that's the dumbest thing Reid has done.
oh. Okay, then Thumb's story reigns champion.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because who just shakes their hand willy-nilly
Yeah.
bleeding everywhere?
Vigorously while spewing blood.
It'll stop bleeding. I just need to shake it.
Yeah.
Well, no, that wasn't it. Obviously, the way you stop pain is by shaking it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's not it. And you listening at home, if you're currently injured, please do not shake off whatever body part that you're injured.
Yeah, for legal reasons, this isn't medical advice.
We
For
are
legal
not doctors.
reasons, please do not listen to anything we say, but do listen to this podcast.
Yeah, this isn't financial or medical advice.
Yeah,
And
but you should
We are
invest
not
in me
doctors.
right now.
Don't say that. Stop saying that.
We are not doctors, nor do we claim to
No,
be.
I'm bleeping that out.
Okay.
Record
Alright,
scratch.
Anyway.
All right.
So I'm in the army, and considering most of our views come from people I work with or
Shout
work
out
with.
the army.
Yeah, they already know this, but well, they probably don't know this, but the first, I'd say, 6 months I was in my current unit, I would act dumb because I would be really lazy to do something, and it was a lot easier to just be like, I don't know, I'm stupid, and then I don't know, do a couple push-ups or be like, come on, man, and then get made fun of for a little while, and then boom, there you go, you know. So, so everyone thought that I was dumb for 6 months because I was just lazy, and everyone was dickheads. I didn't like them anyways, but they kept me in our office, and they started asking me like super basic questions because they were trying to prove that I'm stupid somehow to themselves, I think. And they started asking me like, how many colonies were there? 13. How many stars? 50. And then they asked me how many stripes. Now, whenever I've heard this question, I don't know why, but I heard how many red stripes. So I said 7 because there's 7 red stripes. And what they said was how many stripes are there?
Who's clicking?
Oh, it's me.
Cut that shit out.
So after I said this, they went around and started telling people that I was an idiot because I said that there was 13 stripes on the flag. And ever since then, thankfully all those people have left. But for a while it was just, oh, this guy's fucking retarded. This guy's fucking retarded. And they would speak like that too, so you can imagine you can imagine the irony of it.
Tell them about my sins, Maury.
Your sins? Well, there's one time so we had this, so we were playing Minecraft, right? This was in Minecraft in a video game. If the IRS is listening. But we had this village, and I told Reid we had this double chest, and maybe it was like 2 double chests filled with cobblestone. And I told Reid, can you build a wall so that our villagers stop dying? And he goes and he says, I'm going to make the wall level all around it. And this is a wall a wall all around an entire Minecraft village. And the village was like sloping down on the side of a hill.
Oh
so
my.
he built up everywhere to level out at the top. And it looked like he was constructing a stadium of some sort that was true. That was a 1-to-1 scale. I swear to God, it looked like there was a Super Bowl going on in there.
He's getting mad about it as he talks about
it. And how tall was it? It was like 24 something blocks.
Blocks high.
Yeah, it was like something like that. 28 blocks. All around. Well, that was in the highest parts, and then in some parts it was only like 1 high, because at the top of the mountain.
Damn. And how long did this take you, Reid?
A few days, I think, right? Like a couple days.
I got it done in like 2 days.
He emptied the entire 2 double chests of cobblestone, and then we had to accumulate more of it to do other shit.
So you said get rid of. You told me try to use as much cobble as you can. We have a double chest. We have too much cobble. So
No, I did not say that. I said we should get rid of this cobblestone.
All right. So you say that. My brain heard what I just said.
Ow.
My brain heard, okay, use as much cobble as possible. And so I do. And then you're like, you used all the fucking cobble. So I make a red.
What am I gonna do?
So
what else was I supposed to do?
Hold on.
Thank God. We're out of cobblestone. Completely.
Pretty much.
We've been depleted.
That's what he was expecting.
It gets even better. Maury wanted like a redstone garage. So
Oh God.
So I carved out the inside of a mountain, refilling the double chest with cobble.
And I think that's when I stopped playing for like a day or two, and I came back to that.
I love that.
Yeah. I do shit like that all the time, where it's like you leave and you come back and we have too much of one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have to like tell him, can you go get this? I say, oh, we're kind of low on saddles.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And for hours, this man will somehow manage to accumulate an entire double chest of it for no reason, no particular reason. and in no time in this process is he like, maybe this is enough.
Nope. No. Because well,
you know,
see, the problem is I think it'd be kind of funny if I got a double chest of what he was asking for, and then I could just commit to the bit the entire time.
Facts. I do, as someone who has not been playing Minecraft very long, I do think my favorite memory from our realm, Reid, is when you're like, yeah, in game, I'm gonna kidnap these villagers.
In game.
And then I come back, and you did, and then you built the regenerative kelp thing, and then built a window behind it so that the villagers can see out as they're in captivity.
That's right.
And just look longingly out the window, and then they stopped working. So then we had to take part of their window privileges away.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Is it not? No. That's how I remember it.
So,
dude, it's been a while now.
The first thing I built was the kelp farm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna.
You did.
I was like, I'm gonna kidnap some villagers in game, and then I did, and then I made the window, and they never stopped working. They always kept working.
Oh, they didn't?
No, there was
I thought they stopped working.
Where they glitched out for some reason, but I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
And you know why?
Or like,
you know why I put the window in?
Why, Reid?
Because they work better if they have hope. Now...
I will say, he built the kelp farm before we even had a house.
That's true, I did.
It's very.
I was building the house, and I looked down, and there's just a whole kelp farm.
Well, he's the like, average Reid activity.
Well, she said she wanted to build the house, so I was just like, okay.
I built the house, and then he built a kelp farm, and then he built the grand smelter.
See, the problem is I just build shit faster than you, and you're acting like it's weird. Maybe
no, but it was great. I've been playing Minecraft for like 3 months, Reid.
Well, get it to fucking together.
I've been playing Minecraft since like 2011 when it came out.
I was not allowed to play video games as a child.
Well, your parents fucking suck. Fuck them.
They don't. I learned a lot more than my siblings did.
It's so precious. They don't
okay,
suck.
But to be fair, Reid keeps saying that he's gonna get my mom, and I think you're losing points there, bud. After you said she sucked.
She knows it's bits.
Okay. But, I don't think that the cobblestone is as bad as when Maury was really mad at me for using as many slabs as I did.
It was so fucking funny.
It still haunts me because I was using slabs for something and I was like, Maury's gonna yell at me. And it was in my own creative server. And I was like, if Maury ever sees this, he's gonna yell at me.
Maury, you gave her trauma.
My bad, I guess. Maybe you shouldn't use slabs like that anymore.
Maybe you shouldn't fucking use slabs as building blocks.
Yeah, just quit. I'm kidding.
Give up.
Kidding. Just give up.
Oh.
We're kidding, by the way. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
I'm crying.
Yeah, you can do it.
I believe you can win.
We
believe in you.
Yeah.
This does not sound sincere, but thank you.
Sahara, you were acting like the kidnapping villagers is irregular activity for Minecraft, but it isn't. It's really normal.
Oh no, I completely support it.
Yeah, kidnapping's actually in real life even is very normal.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So therefore it's okay.
I mean,
have you seen Sound of Freedom?
No.
Me neither.
Well, I will say I have seen every single Law and Order SVU episode multiple times.
Oh, okay, I see.
Speaking of normalizing atrocities, China is going to do their own 2008 housing crisis, but on a grander scale.
Rip.
You like that? You like that transition?
I hate China.
Yeah.
Good.
I think China's like top 2 worst countries right now.
What's number 1?
Okay, what's your top 2? Or other than China?
What's your top 3 worst countries right now, Maury?
Yeah.
Russia.
Russia
and China.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's third?
And
third. Oh, that's a good. Whichever one there's a civil war in now. Hang on, let me look at the current civil wars.
Are we talking about
probably Syria?
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Those are good tier list.
That's valid.
Yeah. Afghanistan's also, bombed out and depleted. I saw that on Chappelle's show the other day. I was rewatching Chappelle's show, and there's a bit called the Player Haters Ball, and one guy insults Dave Chappelle's something, and then Dave Chappelle's like, what could be said about that attire, about that outfit that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan? It looks bombed out and depleted.
All right.
I think we should start using that on a day-to-day basis to describe.
I have been. Trust me.
I'm glad.
As soon as I heard that.
Reid, we're adopting that.
Oh.
Who are we adopting? Sorry.
Dave Chappelle.
Bombed out and depleted.
Oh, okay.
To describe people's appearances on our day-to-day basis.
Ah, good. Circling back to China doing their own 2008 housing crisis.
What are you, H3? Come on.
Tell me more. Tell me more, Reid.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
It was announced that Country Garden, one of the top, it's a stupid name, one of the biggest real estate developers in the country, stopped paying its bills. They defaulted on all of their bills, and it totaled up to $200 billion. Because they built so much shit on debt.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, since they stopped paying their bills, the work on the houses they were building stopped. So people prepaid for those houses with loans and their savings.
Yep.
They stopped paying. That affects.
Wow.
Oh, quick question: how long did it take for Country Garden to go bankrupt after that news was announced?
You want us to guess?
Yes, I want you to guess.
1 day.
5 minutes.
So I'm gonna give it to Maury. It was a couple of days. It was like 2-3 days.
Oh, okay.
2-3 days.
I was
and they went from one of the top real estate companies to bankrupt.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad and like really fucking funny. And
that's not sad. Why am I saying this? Why are we saying this?
Yeah.
That's not sad. Fuck them. That's China.
That's right. Hold on.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, our beef is with their government mainly.
Yeah.
So they're in the middle of building houses. People stop stop paying their mortgages. That hurts the bank.
Mm-hmm.
But
Another thing, I hate banks.
okay,
Except Navy
That's the
Fed.
Maury thing.
Not sponsored by Navy Fed.
The average price of a house in China is 10,000 of their currency, or $15,000 per square foot. And
That's insane.
an average person in China makes $300 a month. So
that's so sad.
Jesus.
they can't buy shit. Yeah, it's like here, but way worse.
Yeah.
So they stopped paying their mortgages, and the bank started hurting. So, in China, they do banking different. They don't have commercial banks there. They do these things called shadow banks, which I know
Yikes.
sounds shady as fuck, and they are shady as fuck. They are like Ponzi schemes. Shout out Bernie Madoff.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
name dropping.
Basically, the people have to put in a minimum investment into the bank, and they promise 7 to 9% yield. And the way they do that is they take the money that they get from new people and pay the interest to the old people, that is straight up a Ponzi scheme.
Yikes.
So, and one of the biggest banks, also one of the biggest shadow banks, stopped paying its bills.
Oh.
To recap, the people's money, it's not safe in the housing market, right? Not safe in banks. The stock market is down because of all the shit, and their currency is also going down.
I'd imagine. That's insane.
And normally a country could just ride this shit out, but their population is going down for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
Because Xi Jinping is kind of a dick. People are like, oh, if we're going to war, why would I want a kid if we're going to go to war?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is relevant to what I have pulled up right here. There's this tweet about it says recently leaked China's population data confirm my estimates. Births began to decline in 1991 with no peak in 2004 or 2011. Population is now less than 1.28 billion, not the official 1.41 billion. Population began to shrink in 2018, not 2031, as officially predicted.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And the average age of a person in China is gonna go up by 2050 to about 50 years old. So they're gonna have a shitload of old people. And a shitload of debt, and that's the future for China.
Yeah. So, anyways, America, not in a good state right now, but you know what? We're better. We're doing good.
Ours is gonna go up to like the average age is gonna be 42.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's just because young people aren't having children, so.
Yeah, we just gotta fix the vibe. And then
the vibe is a little bit off in the room.
The vibe in the U.S. is off, and we gotta.
Yeah, get me in there. Get me in there. I got it.
I think all the problems stem back to education.
Yeah, send
I do
me
as well.
Send me in there with the joke book, and I think I'll fix it.
Yeah.
You know, when I was little, I had an entire collection of SpongeBob joke books.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love that.
It was like 6 books of just SpongeBob jokes. There was one that was like, what does Sandy do on her free time? She surfs the internet. Yeah.
Yeah?
Hurl yourself off a building.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't write the joke, man. Some guy did.
Okay, find out the author.
Yeah, let me look this up, actually. But yeah, in comparison to the rest of the world, I think America's doing relatively well.
Okay. India's on the rise.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
in population.
Oh no, they just landed on the moon.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they made it to the moon without crashing into
Whoa!
Hey, Russia, take fucking notes. Learn how to not crash a spaceship, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their average age is gonna be like 35 in 2050. which is really good. Which is what America had that in the 40s and 50s, and that's what led to us being number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young people.
We need more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, hear me out.
Yep.
Hear me out. Maximum death age.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it, and it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Euthanization. Yeah. Forced euthanization.
Yeah, there's many movies about this idea, but
Is that what happened to the Armenians?
I don't know. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
We don't know enough about that topic to talk about it, so let's not. What's the biggest brain thing you've ever done?
The biggest brain thing I've ever done.
What's the biggest brain thing?
Also, I found who wrote the joke books. His name is David Lumen.
Well, David Lumen is not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I got funny.
Mid.
You should have been there. You just had to be there.
When your girl said the sex was mid afterwards.
Yikes. What do you know about that, Reid?
Big yikes.
Big yikes. You want to throw yourself out a window after that?
Yeah,
shit.
that's an L.
That's an L. Fat L. L. SNL.
L.
That's why they suck.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's gonna lead us? Biggest brain moment.
I gotta think of mine. I don't know.
I'm thinking of mine.
Okay, I got this. Don't worry. So in high school, in freshman year of high school, there was this math class.
Oh no.
And in it, the teacher said on midterms and finals.
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah, on midterms and finals, if you scored higher on the part, like if it was on the 1.1 part of the test, of the midterm, she would raise your grade of the on that 1.1 test up to a B. So what I did is I kind of did not try the entire year, and then for the final I aced it, and I walked and I went from a D to a B plus.
Nice.
I love that so much.
And even though the Sigma grind set music wasn't invented yet, I did in fact hear it in my head. Hey, that's copyrighted.
Wow.
Please don't.
Just
I'm kidding. It's fine.
Just like put a voice over yourself saying words. And it'll be fine. You know.
I can go next.
Okay.
All right. So my big brain moment is I have no is I have a very, very deep interest into the macabre. And in high school, so I love English class. It's my favorite class from high school and all of my school years, and I absolutely adore reading. Like I have probably 300 books. And
you're a nerd.
You're a fucking nerd.
Anyway,
I pushed you.
Anyways,
I'm staring at a collection of H.P. Lovecraft books, by the way.
I have a book of all of H.P. Lovecraft's works in one book, and then I also have a crocheted Cthulhu on top of it. Back to the story, guys.
So
Reid doesn't want to edit too much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, shut up. Anyway, so I love books. I have like 300 books. And I just genuinely enjoy reading on my own time. But in high school, when we had to read books for school, that is something I absolutely hated. This is strongly not advised.
So let me get this straight. Hold on. You liked reading, but you hated reading for school.
Yeah, because if I had to do it, then it wasn't as interesting as me choosing my own book. Because like they made us read like The Crucible.
Yeah.
Educated. The books that weren't interesting to me. I do enjoy The Crucible, I will not lie. And I have a very strong love of F. Scott Fitzgerald. However, being forced to read them for school was not fun.
Which one's The Crucible?
The Crucible was
Salem Witch Trials.
Salem Witch Trials.
They had us act it out. I paid attention during that, but
but you know.
Yeah, I had AP Lang.
I did enjoy that.
We had to stand up and read it, in a group, like in front of
I
the
would
class.
have loved to take AP Lang.
We played parts. My teacher was not good. She was very bad. I did not like her.
I had a teacher. Dirt.
No, the other one.
We don't say names here. Don't say names.
It's gonna get edited out. Yeah. I just wanted to know. I just was curious. Anyway, so I took ERWC my senior year.
Same.
Because I loved my teacher that I had junior year, and she loved me, so she made me take that class.
These nerds AP classes.
I didn't take AP. I mean, I did take AP, but not AP Lang.
Hey, that's an L. Taking an AP class, L. Fat L.
I took 2.
Because it doesn't transfer over.
Yeah, it does if you pass.
In some colleges, it does not transfer over.
That's why you go to a college that it transfers over.
It's a waste of your fucking time. What if the college you want doesn't have it? What are you gonna do? You just wasted your fucking time.
Called you plan it out before you apply to college.
That happened to my brother. He took AP classes, and most of them weren't transferable.
Your brother's kind of an idiot.
Yeah. Only on Tuesdays.
All right. Anyway, back to the story. So, my teacher did this thing called book talks, and you would have to read a book up to a certain point, and then she would call you up one by one and read parts of it to you, and you'd have to tell her what's either happening next, happened before, or something about it. And then we also had to write like a test. You had to remember stuff, and it was certain questions, and you had to write it down without the book. And anyway, I figured out how to cheat the system. Because of my deep love of the macabre, and because in my senior year of high school, I genuinely wanted to be a mortician or a medical examiner.
Oh.
I was like, I get to choose my own nonfiction book.
What? You wanted to... What? Hold on. You're not getting... I'm not letting you skip past that. You wanted to be a mortician?
Or a medical examiner. More a medical examiner than a mortician.
Okay, medical examiner is less weird than mortician, but it's still fucking weird.
Why is it weird?
You're touching dead bodies.
It's so common, honestly.
Okay, but someone has to do it. Okay, here's my reasoning as to why I would rather be a medical examiner than a mortician. As a medical examiner, you're doing autopsies, which is much more interesting to me. As a mortician, you're basically preparing a body for a funeral, for cremation. But for a funeral, when you prepare the body...
Please excuse yourself from this call.
For real, hang up. When you prepare a body for a funeral and they've been refrigerated, you do have to sew up orifices, such as the nostrils, mouth, anus, and...
That's because you turn into your insides,
all of them
into goo.
That is true, and fun fact, you can stitch the mouth shut through the nose. Anyways, I saw... Thank you for respecting my story. So I was like, this is my special interest, and I get to choose a nonfiction book. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go onto Amazon and start researching some books. And so I got, oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. I literally have it next to me, but I don't feel like getting it. But it was basically a book from a mortician, or not a mortician, a medical examiner's perspective on all kinds of things. And so I was like, oh cool, this sounds really cool. I'm gonna buy it. And so I buy it, and then my teacher had to approve the book. And she knew me very well, and she looked at it and she goes, that's interesting. Can't wait to do book talks. So book talk time comes around, and I actually read this book. From all my other book talks previously, before we had to choose nonfiction books, I never read a single book in high school. Or school, but I still passed because I skimmed, and I was like, I don't like reading those, but I just barely skimmed and I got it all right. So anyway, so book talk comes up, and I had already finished the book, and she goes to test me, and she just reads the chapter title, and it was like maggots and flies or something like that. And she goes, "Can you just tell me about what this chapter is about? Because I'm not gonna read this." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." So I tell her, and I'm doing all. I was like totally tisming out and going into detail, and I was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have said that." And she's like, "You get 100." But that was gross.
That was.
I'm not doing this again.
She's
And then I chose another book similar to that, but it was from the perspective of a medical examiner who was at ground zero on 9/11.
Oh.
And it was actually very interesting, very well written.
That's
sad.
That's very depressing.
Sad.
That is very. You want to hear my interesting fact?
Yeah.
Okay. So my dad worked
Never mind.
for the sheriff's department, right?
Now, what if I say no?
Too late. You already said yes.
Yes. Yeah. I know.
I can't stop once I started. My dad worked for the sheriff's department. He saw firsthand someone pop like a water balloon.
That's cool.
Because they were in the river and they fished him out.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
And they set him down. Worst smell ever, he said.
Well, yeah, death doesn't smell amazing.
Yep.
Anecdote about my story though. Before COVID happened, I was going to I was actually going to tour the medical examiner's office because I know the county's medical examiner, and he was actually going to let me view an autopsy. But then COVID happened and I couldn't do it. So I'm pretty disappointed about that because that would have been really cool.
Maury, you got your big brain moment?
Yeah. Now listen. I gotta say that this is the nerdiest thing that I will ever put out into the airwaves. All right.
I'm excited.
I run D&D sometimes.
Oh my god.
And so the first time I played, so you either run D&D or you play D&D. I've always run it until until I found out that some people in my unit were playing D&D. And this one guy, his name is Declan. He's in Harvard now. Great fucking guy.
Harvard Law? Holy shit.
He's studying English. He's trying to teach English at Harvard.
What? Wait,
that's cool.
What a fucking idiot. You go to Harvard and you're studying English. That's a waste.
Yeah. Because he wants to teach at Harvard.
He
wants to teach English at Harvard.
Hey, you know who else wants to teach English at Harvard? Everyone else in that fucking class.
Yeah. Okay, man. Anyways.
That's too much.
Quit hating on Declan.
Yeah, stop hating on Declan. He's a great
innocent.
guy.
I'm sorry, Declan.
I'm gonna send him a link to this, and he's gonna send you a strongly worded email, and contact
Use that degree.
And he's gonna contact your college's.
Oh, good.
I just cut it out.
Yeah.
No, you can't cut it
now. Need a lawyer? Hit me up. I have a good one.
Don't cut it out. Anyways, so he was running his D&D game, okay, and yeah, it was great. Declan, you made a great D&D campaign. It was super detailed. The issue with Declan is that he likes to get really deep into his world and the lore of his world and everything around it. And he tends to not focus on the session and the fun, you know. He wants, and I admire his D&D skills for how detailed and the dedication that he has to it and the skill that he has, and it's an experience. But the people that were playing were getting kind of fed up with it. You know, there's moments where he would make bad decisions, bad calls as a DM, as a dungeon master. It's called okay, right?
Refs make bad calls all the time.
Yeah. He made a couple bad calls. I'm still you know, a little bummed out by one of them.
What was it?
Well, 40 archers hitting the exact same person in the exact same spot is a little outrageous when you say.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we all said.
The odds on that? No.
And I was a wizard. I had like 20 health.
You could sell me
altogether, that would have the damage that those I think it was like 20 archers, to be fair. It was 20 archers hitting the exact same spot. But that amount of damage would have quadrupled the amount of health that I had.
Yeah.
Our tank died, and we had to revive him.
You know?
Our tank. Imagine if it hit me, because it was going to hit me, but our tank took the damage. Anyways, so he kept making back calls, and some of the dudes were like, "Yeah, we're kind of fed up with it." He's also not like playing a lot. Like we can't. He's kind of stopping us from playing as often as we want to. We want to play a lot more, really getting into it. So they came to me because they knew I had DM'd before, and they came to my room, and we just sat here for hours, just coming up with ideas. And the next day, I had what's called CQ, where you stay up for 24 hours and guard a building. For no particular reason.
Yeah.
During this time, since I wasn't doing anything but just sitting there, I ran that same game that I had just prepared for. Now, preparing for a completely new party, a completely new world that you just made up, is very difficult. Session 0 and 1 is very important.
Yeah.
And I decided to have session 0 be while I was on CQ, the day right after I had prepared stuff. And I prepared like 2 hours. 2 hours is a pretty good amount. And initially it was like 4 people. It turned into 5, and then it turned into like 7. Turned to 7 people that I was not prepared for. Ooh. And the 2 hour mark hit, and it would have been a great session there. But they wanted to keep going, and I had nothing but time. So I kept going. Keep in mind, I prepared 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah. We played for 10 hours straight.
I mean, Maury, you're one of the best bullshitters awesome. I know, so...
We played... Yeah. It was somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. Somewhere in between there. I don't know, because by the time I was done, I had a raging headache. I had to pretend to be so many people that I came up with on the spot.
That's awesome.
At the very, very spot. I came up with an entire murder mystery because one, I think he listened to the last podcast. He might listen to this. He came up to this. He's playing a little boy, and he came up to this other little boy that they had just gotten to this new town, and he asked he asked one of the boys, do you have any hash slinging slashers in town? And immediately I came up with an entire murder mystery on the spot.
Gotta love it.
That's awesome. I love that.
I was like, I looked at him like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Actually, we do.
You're gonna shit your pants when you hear what I'm about to say.
Yeah. And I forgot. I remember the name of the serial killer. His name was the Midnight Intruder.
Ooh. Intruder?
That's so cringe. But yes, that was his name.
I mean, it sounds like it could be on the news. In the news.
Yeah, I mean, this is medieval time, so, the Midnight Intruder, I think, is pretty... Yeah, it's pretty good name.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good-looking guy, and he would try to get dates with women, and he would have the woman would, like, prepare for a date, and he would only target women that were already in a relationship on cheaters.
Oh.
So, the woman would be home preparing for this date, and then he would sneak in before the date would happen and murder them.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Ted Bundy
That's quite interesting. It is time for Sahara's spooky conspiracy. So I have 2 this week.
Redo
and the first one, oh my. All right.
What the fuck was that? I'm sorry. Did you let a demon into your room?
Oh my fucking gosh, you fucking did.
All right. Hang on. It's really hard to be serious when Maury's
Miss Keisha
icon is looking at me like
Miss
that.
Keisha. Oh my fucking gosh, you fucking did.
All right. So this week's don't flame me for this week's, guys, because I wanted to start with old ones that are more well known, and then I'm gonna get more niche as we go on.
Okay.
So these are opinionated. All right.
Okay.
All right. It is time for Sahara's spooky conspiracies. So
yay!
Yay!
This feels like bullying. All right, so
We were cheering
the
for
way
you.
this is gonna work is I'm gonna explain the conspiracy, and then I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask for your guys' opinions at the end of me explaining. So, the first one is Bigfoot, because I'm a fan of Bigfoot.
Okay.
But anyway, so America's favorite Sasquatch, Bigfoot. The theory started in 1958 in Humboldt, California. And there's lots of wild man theories surrounding Bigfoot, but it really took off in the 1970s, and he eventually became like a TV character
The 70s.
and was in a lot of hippie films. And then that's pretty much all we know. And then it became like a niche show on like the History Channel where people were
finding
hunting Bigfoot in the woods. So my questions for you guys. Do you believe he's real, an urban legend, or just something a paranoid stoner in Humboldt saw in the woods?
Okay.
Reid, go ahead and go first.
So, okay, it's not lost on me that one of like the first sightings of the feet, the footprints, that was a prankster.
Yeah, because there are 16-inch footprints that people have found and fossilized, claiming to be Bigfoot.
Yeah, that was done by a prankster.
Yeah.
Though I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out, oh yeah, no, this is real. But
I mean, anything is quite possible, but
I'm leaning more towards like it's not real. It's more of a
I
hoax.
want it to be real.
Do you?
I do, because I
Why?
think it'd just be interesting, and then people would be like, huh, see, I'm not stupid.
No,
but I think it's probably not real. But if it does come to fruition that it is actually real, I think that'd be kind
But if it was real,
but I won't be disappointed.
hold on, if it was real, then we got a fucking wild man loose in the woods, actually killing people for real. That's a problem, and we would have to go kill him.
Well, is he killing people, or is he a nice guy?
There's been stories that he's been fucking shit up.
That's true.
So probably.
I mean, 50-50 chance. Maury, what's your opinion?
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way Bigfoot is real.
Okay.
There is absolutely, and plus, what would be the benefit in learning that Bigfoot is real?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely fucking nothing. There is a hairy man in the woods. There's a big hairy man in the woods. There's one living right next to me. I could bring him in here right now. I'm a hairy man. I'm just not big. There's absolutely no.
Hairy man, and I'm big.
Who cares? Honestly,
Mini
for
Squatch?
me, who cares?
Did you just call, hold on, circle back. You just called Maury a mini Squatch?
Yeah, he said he's hairy but not big, so I called him a mini Squatch.
Mini Squatch. I think that's
good.
That feels racially charged.
Oh, I don't like that anymore.
Okay, well, Reid calls me an Oompa Loompa almost daily.
Well,
and he threatened to dress up little people as Oompa Loompas and release them into my house while I'm sleeping.
High on bath salts.
They would be paid.
High on bath salts.
They would be paid.
They'd be paid. They'd be paid.
I mean, yeah, but
they'd get paid $200 each.
That's quite expensive.
Also, I didn't know that it started in California. I thought it started in Washington.
Yeah.
I did too, but I read a couple articles that said Humboldt, and I was like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense."
I gotta point out, so his legend became popular in the 70s. Everyone was on acid during the 70s. Yeah. And then everyone was on
cocaine.
No, that's the
very true.
The coke is 80s, and then meth is 90s, and then 2000s is opioids.
Yeah, 70s was a lot of LSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So, and
someone was probably consuming at some point.
And they saw a bear and like, that's a wild man. That's a man that's in the wild.
Yeah, or like
if you give me a bunch of LSD
and a porn stash, and we're like, a Sasquatch.
If you give me a bunch of LSD and my roommate comes in here, I'm believing that's fucking Bigfoot.
Shit, I might kill him.
Fair.
I might murder him by accident.
Yeah.
I might go to jail for life.
Oh,
in game.
We are not threatening Maury's roommate's life.
Yeah, no, that's just a bit.
Yeah.
This is just a bit.
I threaten him every day.
Our
with
lawyer
bodily
got
harm.
mad
It's
at
alright.
us last time. By us, I mean me, for saying I want to kill the Overwatch 2 devs. Being like
The
that.
lawyer?
You have a lawyer?
All right, guys, let's go
Guys,
on to the
it's
next
called a
one because
joke.
this one's quite controversial. A lot of people believe this, and it makes me
Hold on, wait. Let's guess what it is.
sad. Okay, yeah, because this is like a very, very popular one.
Okay, aliens.
No.
Moon landing.
It is the moon landing. So I have a little thing that I wrote for the moon landing, and then I'm gonna read it and ask you the guys questions. Is the moon landing a hoax? In 1969, the world changed when Neil Armstrong stepped foot on the moon. Or did he? In 1976, a former employee of Rocketdyne self-published a pamphlet entitled We Never Went to the Moon, America's $30 billion Swindle, full of theories and grainy, questionable photocopies. Many people still doubt, despite 382 kilograms of moon rock from 6 missions, photos from the NASA Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, as well as verification from Russia, China, and Japan. Sean Connery in 1971's Diamonds Are Forever.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, there's a little chase between film sets, and one of the film sets that he's on is a moon setup with astronauts and a distant Earth to look like the moon landing. So many people believe this is like proof that it's a hoax, and it has greatly fueled the theory that this is a hoax. So do you think it's possible that they faked something this grand in the 1960s? And do you believe that it's not real? And do you think the believers should be vastly ridiculed?
No, they should be shamed. They're stupid. We have rocks from the moon.
382 kilograms from 6 missions.
Fun fact, moon dust is hella bad. It's like inhaling fiberglass insulation.
Yeah.
Maybe they did inhale fiberglass insulation and called it moon dust.
And just dyed it gray. Look, okay, I got a couple questions about this.
Okay.
The first person to be like, they didn't go to the moon. What was he again?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it sounds like he's just making shit up.
Honestly, yeah. But like, have you seen a photo of the set from Diamonds Are Forever?
No, I've seen Diamonds Are Forever. It's a fucking movie.
It is, yeah.
No, it's a movie. People are so stupid. Movies aren't real. Yeah. They're movies.
No, they aren't.
If the government did fake the moon landing, do you think they would let them have that set?
Exactly.
No. They would destroy it.
The CIA, people are like, oh, well, the CIA won't talk to us about it. Well, no shit, it's the CIA. Shit. But like,
also, do you
if they really cared that much,
do you want them talking to you? You know the fucked up shit they do on a regular basis?
Exactly.
You don't want to talk to them.
What do you think, Maury?
In my heart, in my soul, I want to believe that the moon landing happened because I love space and it's so interesting, and I also hate communism, and I really want to believe that we got there first. And fuck the Russians, and the USSR.
Yeah. Preach.
So you could say that I'm biased, sure, I guess, but I think there's simply no in 1960. Yeah. 1960 is a little early to fake that,
All right. Well, I have a question.
I thought.
And also I do think we should ridicule them. 100%.
I think they should be allowed to buy houses.
I've seen footage of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin going up to people that believe that the moon landing was fake, and then the guys that believed the moon landing was fake was like, "Oh, you're fucking lying. You're a piece of shit. You're lying to everyone. Fuck you."
Yeah.
And then Neil Armstrong was like, "Dude, I was there. I went there, and I went there," and they were like,
"And I fucked your mom."
I can't remember if Neil Armstrong only got mad at the fact that he did it, and these people can't. They just believe somehow that they didn't do this incredible thing.
I want to see.
It's so mind-boggling in my mind the position that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are in this debate, that they did something so incredible and went so far beyond the limitations of any creature that we know of.
Yeah, apparently.
And then these dudes that are they're American to begin with. They're like, no, you didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think people who believe the moon landing is fake and that the Earth is flat, they shouldn't be allowed to buy houses. They shouldn't be allowed to reproduce, and they shouldn't be allowed to vote. I'm curious, the Venn diagram of what's the overlap of flat earthers to moon landing is fake people.
It's probably pretty big.
Yeah,
That overlap. I'd say so.
I gotta say it might be 100%.
Is the flat Earth coming up anytime soon?
Not today.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, I prefer to stay away from that.
I mean, we kind of just already said our opinions of people.
Yeah, that's just fucking stupid.
My uncle personally joins the groups of flat earthers on Facebook just to troll them.
Good. That's good.
Nice.
Nice. That's funny.
All right. This does not relate to anything that I have talked about today, but I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes along with movies.
Okay.
When do you think the first gay kiss in movie history was?
Oh.
Because I just found this out, and it was earlier than I thought it was.
Oh. 60s?
Yes. So. No.
70s.
Nope.
40s.
No.
50s?
My guess was 60s. No. All right, one more guess.
It was the 80s.
For Maury. No. One more guess, Maury.
Did you already say 50s?
Yes. Are you bullshitting?
90s?
No. No. Are you ready?
30s. Is it 30s?
Ooh,
There's no
Maury's
way.
so close.
20s.
Okay. So the first erotic kiss between two members of the same sex was in the film Manslaughter in 1922, and it was
Holy
actually
shit.
two women. It was actually two women.
1920
Holy
what?
shit.
1922 in Morocco.
Isn't that?
That's
okay. That's the Great Depression. Close.
Close.
Yeah.
Great Depression.
As you see,
But it was
like 2 years before.
It was a hit in the 1930s in Morocco during the Great Depression, though. Was Michael Jackson killed by the Iranian government?
Excuse me?
Oh god.
You what?
That is
I'm surprised that statement has been uttered by another human being in history, let alone believed that.
What the fuck?
Exactly. All right, so on the day that the King of Pop died,
the Iranian
Twitter
government tweeted out lol Lamau.
Yeah, the only thing the Iranian government is good at is getting bombed.
Yeah.
Oof.
The only thing they're good at is getting their boats sunk by the U.S. Navy. There was one time, Sahara, we sunk half of their navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
all right.
one engagement.
In a day.
Yeah.
That was a proportional response, they called it. Half their fucking navy.
So on the day that the King of Pop died, a lot of people took to Twitter with rest in peace tweets, which knocked down the trending hashtag of #Iran election, which was trending for some time. And a lot of people believe that this prevented Iranian protesters from using Twitter to protest against their president. I'm not going to butcher his name, because he was manipulating the recent election and it killed a movement's momentum.
Well, okay.
And clearly, he was responsible. So obviously, he killed Michael Jackson.
Well, okay, that's a dumb theory, because
it's so stupid.
Do you know what would happen if the U.S. government found out that the Iranian government killed Michael Jackson? Do you know what they would do?
They'd send me in.
No, this would be in the early 2000s, so you'd be a child.
That's fine. They'd still send me in with a 240 and 2,000 rounds of 7.62.
Okay.
When Michael Jackson died, we
get pissed
7.
when other countries kill normal like people that aren't the King of Pop, that are Americans.
Like when China we took that one female basketball player and we traded in the actual Lord of War.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
for a single U.S. citizen.
We got 2.
Wasn't
actually.
that Russia?
We got 2. That was Russia.
Or something?
We got 2.
Yeah, that was Russia. That was even worse.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
also
like,
we got 2.
The Lord of War.
Hold on. We got 2.
Uh-huh.
We got 2 people for 1.
But it's the Lord of War. There's a movie.
I don't care.
There's a movie played by Nicolas Cage.
You know what I'd do?
On how evil this motherfucker
Maury,
was.
You know what I'd do if I was the U.S. government and I made this deal? I'd wait until I got the people back and then I'd drone strike him.
You know how many people? You know how many countries, entire countries that the Lord of War has affected?
Ooh. I have to watch the movie, so I'm gonna. Is it a good movie?
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. Great.
Join us on Twitch to stream that movie.
I mean, you won't get DMCA'd, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord of War, great movie. I have it on DVD. We can watch it next time you're over at my
like this
house.
video.
Like
this video if you want to watch the Lord of War with us on Twitch.
Like this video if we should start a Patreon and have a watch-along thing as one of the perks.
Yes, definitely do that.
Yeah.
So I just think that there would have been a lot more of an uproar if that was true.
Yeah,
I feel like we would have definitely
would have demanded the toppling of the Iranian government. There would be no
Iranian, yeah.
Iranian?
No, there wouldn't. Yeah.
Is it Iran?
Iran. I can barely walk.
I'm speaking from their perspective. Iran from the U.S. populace as they fucking toppled my government.
For real?
Yeah, there'd be no Iran. It'd be gone.
No, there wouldn't be. Honestly.
And if any other country was involved, they'd be gone too.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
To circle back to what Maury said earlier, bombed and depleted.
Yeah, bombed and depleted.
Iran
would be bombed and depleted.
I don't even think we would bomb them. I think we would send people in, make it more personable.
Yeah.
All right.
Take us out, Sahara.
All right. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Gred podcast. Yay. If you liked it, let us know. Feel free to rate us on Spotify or wherever you get podcasts.
We're only on Spotify.
Oh yeah, only on Spotify. Only on Spotify and YouTube. Please give us 5 stars. Want to stay in the loop? Follow us on Instagram at the Gred Pod. And all of our other socials are the Gred Podcast. Want to see our logos grippers? Get us to 1,000 subs.
want to see our logos
so
grippers?
He wouldn't let me say toes.
Wait, can I say it? Can I say it?
I kind of like it.
See, I told you that he would want to say it.
Can I say it? I love that. Want to see our logos grippers? Get us to 1,000 subs. You have 1 week.
Jesus Christ.
What is this? A ransom? God damn.
We don't have hostages. We can't make demands.
Get me in the airplane.
I am being held hostage by Maury and
$100,000.
Give me a duffel bag of cash, unmarked bills,
and they're all in ones.
Give me a plane, a pilot, a parachute, and an ice cream cone.
I want a movie pile of cash. It's all ones, and it's definitely just like $200 if you just have it in the hundreds, but it looks like $1,000.
Yeah.
I want a vat of Baja Blast.
That's what I call my farts.
A fat Baja Blast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they originate in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. That was a good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.